the first thing I did was I treated every practice, every training session, every weight session as a tryout. I realized that if I'm redshirting and I'm walking on, that tomorrow isn't promised. These other guys on the team, they're on scholarships. These other guys, they're already getting minutes. They've already have a proof of concept that they are who they say they are. So they're getting the benefit. I'm on borrowed time. I don't have to be here, and I don't know when I'm gonna be booted off this team. So I think a lot of people need to have that mentality when they're walking on. Is like every day is a tryout. Every day, everything you do is a tryout. And if you have that mentality, it allows you not to get lax, and it allows you not to be comfortable. And that's what you need. You don't need to be comfortable throughout this process. There are higher stakes and there is a high reward. So if we're going to rise to occasion, we got to make sure we don't lie to ourselves, and we really benefit from this opportunity. The second thing I would say is I wasn't a distraction, and I mean that in several different ways. A distraction meaning academically. I was never academically ineligible. I made sure I had myself taken care of. In the practice setting, I wasn't a distraction. I'm not the person that's talking during the doggone drills because I'm not up and I have time to talk. I'm not the person that's not focused and don't know what's going on. I was not a distraction. I wasn't going to require people to have put more effort into me than they did anyone else. In fact, it was my job to make sure they didn't have to put any effort in me at all. I just wanted to be there to get better and to help my team win, but in a way that was not going to be distraction. And that's something that you should definitely think about on a regular basis. Are you a distraction? Do coach have to put in more effort to have you around? Do I got to pull you? Do I have to pull you out of bed every day before class, knock on your door, make sure you're up for practice? Do I have to make sure you're going to the training room and taking care of the things you know you need to get taken care of? You know your ankle's supposed to be taped. Why do I have to keep reminding you to do some of the things that you know you're supposed to be getting done, right? Why do I have to have these same conversations about you getting in and watching film, getting in and getting the extra shots? That's a distraction. That's extra work that he or she could be putting to someone else. This is an actual scholarship athlete. And if you are not that, then you don't want to add that extra work to their plate. 3, I attended things I didn't necessarily have to attend. So I can remember on Christmas break, since we had some games on Christmas break, we had to come back early. And my coach was like, listen, the red shirts, we had quite a few red shirts. We had like 5 or 6 red shirts. And he was like, red shirts, y'all don't have to come back until January, but all the other players, y'all need to come back beforehand. Guess who was there? Me, right? And I was one of the few. I was maybe one of two red shirts out of 5 or 6 that actually showed up. And that meant during that Christmas time, that Christmas break time, we didn't have practice. Excuse me. During that Christmas break time, we didn't have classes. So we were doing 2-a-days. So from the outside looking in, someone would say, well, why would you sign up for that? He just clearly told you that you didn't have to be there as a red shirt. These are for actual players. But in my mindset, I want to make sure that I stand out from everyone else. So of course I'm going to be there. Yes, I'm going to be there. 2-a-days and all. I'm going to be there. So when there's pockets of opportunity that you can show up and show out, I encourage you to do that. I encourage you not to take the easy way out and say, well, if I ain't got to do it, I ain't going to do it. No. Again, every day is a tryout. Every day is a tryout. So make sure that you jump on those opportunities. 4 is I made sure that I was putting in extra work. I made sure not only I was putting in extra work, but I made sure that I was seen by the coach putting in extra work consistently, right? I had a sense of urgency every day, and I wanted to make sure that the coach knew that I took this seriously. I wanted him to know that this wasn't just, I just wasn't happy to be in practice. I wanted to make sure that I was a player in the game. So that was something that I did constantly, right? Because the coaches normally, they would stay after practice and they would be in the coach's office doing X, Y, and Z. Listen, there's nights sometimes I'm leaving out the same time they're leaving out, making sure they understand that, listen, I'm going to put in work and this is serious to me. And I think that the least amount that you leave to their imagination, the better. I don't want to have to think, is Bell going to put in this work? I want to know because I've seen it. 5, I put this in a previous video. It never goes out of style. It's good not only for practice, for making a team, for athletics, but just in life. Be positive, okay? Be a cheerleader on your team. Be a cheerleader, be a hype man, whatever you need to be to make sure you get your team going. And I did a lot of that. So that means not only am I being positive as it relates to the things I'm doing, but also my teammates. I'm celebrating my teammates. We're on the same team. It may sound like it's corny or hokey or whatnot, but it makes a big difference. You know just as well as I do when you're around someone with negative energy, and nobody wants to be around that person. Same thing when you get your first job in the office space. Nobody wants to be around a negative person. And this is a chance for you to do that. Irregardless of your playing time or whatnot, are you going to be positive? Are you going to be moving the ball forward? Or are you going to be like, nah, I don't want to do it because I'm not playing, or I'm redshirting, or I'm walking on, or it don't matter because I'm not playing. No, have a positive attitude every day. People notice it, people feel it, and it'll pay off in the future for sure.